They did.
So it's hard
That's
to
kind of
believe.
crazy to
It's
me.
hard to believe.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
I'm not gonna believe it until I see it side by side.
Whatever it is, it's
I'm looking at the taillight design. That doesn't look like shit. That reminds me so much of Volvo. You can't correct it. You will literally scratch it off the metal.
wow. And that's like what, a
You have no paint to
$100,000
work
car?
with. Yeah, this is a this is a $150,000 car too.
What's up, guys? This is the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. I am not the iTunes Fanboy. I'm Tabby Cat. The iTunes Fanboy is currently gone. He's busy right now. This is the first time we've ever recorded without him. So we have Alpha here,
Hello.
and we have, for the first time, Elias as a guest. He's one of my really good friends. I've known him for a while.
AKA Meow Tech YT. Hello.
Yep, and today we have some pretty cool topics to go over. Of course, this is Thursday, September 21st, so it's just before the new iPhones are finally releasing. So we're going to be going over some new Apple stuff and just the news. So, Alfie, you want to kick us off?
Sure thing. I just realized I got to find that list, and here it is. So, iOS 17, iPadOS 17, watchOS 10, and basically all those other operating systems, except for macOS Sonoma, have been released.
Okay, I have used the iOS 17 beta, but currently the only device that I have with iOS 17 is my iPad, which I guess luckily
Same
is... I guess it's pretty lucky for me because I use my iPad more than any other device. And I gotta say, I'm not impressed by the feature set. I don't know about you guys. I'm not impressed by the feature set one bit. I am impressed, however, with the reliability and the stability of a day one release. Because last year's 16.0 was pretty bad. I think that we all had some not too lucky experiences with 16, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, considering that usually I'm the one who always reports, yeah, things are fine on my end. Despite that, yeah, that time I reported I'm having issues with iOS 16, so that's kind of saying something.
Yeah,
Yeah, iOS
and
16 was so bad for me. Like, usually bugs are to the point where you can tolerate them, but for 16.0 on my 14 Pro on launch day, it was to the point where I couldn't use the phone.
it was
Did you
odd
have
for
the
me.
camera buzzing issue?
I did, but here's the thing. I don't really use Snapchat, so I was fine in that regard. But I was having issues with, iMessage not activating, issues with eSIM not activating.
I remember those.
I was on calls and there was a clicking noise in the background, when I was on my phone speaker or, headphones didn't matter. It was just like issues that made the phone unusable and overheating too. So, yeah, bad experience.
I remember those issues, actually. I forgot about those until now. But,
Yeah, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it was on a call with you that I was experiencing that clicking, actually.
I'm not sure because I definitely remember, though. I remember, all of the, issues that those phones had when they came out. Let me go and do not disturb. I'm getting spammed. But I do remember I only had one issue, or kind of two issues. iMessage was kind of messed up. Fixed day one with an update. And my dad also had that issue in his day one model. Two, the focus distance issues got me very angry on the 14 Pro.
I wouldn't say that's an iOS 16 issue.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Yeah,
I
because my 13
definitely-
Pro has issues like that too.
Yeah, it's stupid.
When I got the 13 Pro, I had the issue with the worst focus distance, and it bothered me. But when I got the 14 Pro, and it was like 2 times worse, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of expecting Apple to do a little bit better because if you guys haven't heard, they're actually decreasing the size of the camera module this year. It looks weird
Yeah.
on their website apparently, but I actually got the case and my phone's camera, I have a 14 Pro. It's actually too big to fit in the case. So
Wait.
Interesting.
Hold on. Are you saying Apple just shrunk the camera bump?
they did.
So It's hard
That's
to
kind of
believe.
crazy to
It's
me.
hard to believe.
Yeah,
Okay?
I know.
I'm not gonna believe it until I see it side by side. But I'm just gonna tell you this: if they did shrink it, I'm gonna be so happy. You have no idea.
Yeah, because tomorrow I'm actually going to meet with Elias, and we're going to
Yep.
pick up our 15 Pros.
Yeah, so we'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't know when my case is coming actually. I ordered it 2 days ago. I don't know if it's coming today or if it came or what, but
Where'd
I'm
you
not
order it
rushing
from?
it.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Mm. But
The
I'd
thing
say
for
back
me
on
with the
top.
case, I don't plan to use a case on the 15 Pro just because honestly the only reason why I ever used a case on my Pro phones is either if I'm going to be in a setting where I'm probably going to drop it or just because I don't like the way it feels on the sides. So, with the new matte finish kind of titanium, I don't think there's really a need for a case in my opinion, just for me personally.
I don't drop my phones. The last time I dropped my phone was August, I believe.
Wow.
But I am very particular about scratches on my phone and even like micro scratches. Because for one, I want to keep my phone in the best condition. It's a really nice machine, or not machine, but it's a nice piece of work, right? It's a nice
Yeah.
phone. And two, I also have to use my phones for B-roll a lot of the time. And if I have like an all like messed up phone, like an old iPhone like 6 that I have to find the best condition 6 that I can,
Right.
And I find it helps to have like something that looks out of the box. And also it's just like I'd rather have my stuff in better condition. But the case thing, I've been using my phone without a case. The sides bother me a lot when I'm looking at them with just how nasty they look.
With the fingerprints?
Yeah, it is awful. In the camera lens specifically, that stupid border, the stainless steel border.
Oh yeah.
It's nasty. It is. I cleaned it very thoroughly last night. It already looks nasty.
Yeah, that's something I'm super excited about with the titanium. Because
Supposedly, people are saying the titanium looks worse.
I mean,
Well,
it's easier to clean, I'd say, right?
if it's a matte finish, I would say so. And not only that, it may... So they're saying that the blue and the black are going to smudge. And I'll find that out personally, because I got the blue. But, if it smudges a little bit, I think that's going to look way better because on the stainless steel, you just see these raw fingerprints, And that's not what it's going to look like on the matte titanium. It's going to look a lot better, even if it's all smudged up.
You've actually seen images of what it looks like, right?
I have. But
Okay.
at the
And I don't actually
time,
think the color will matter because I've machined titanium. I know what handling that stuff is like, and it gets fingerprinty like crazy.
here's the thing.
We'll have to see.
I put my phone in my pocket, like, all the time. So if I'm not using a case, theoretically, it should kind of clean itself in my pocket between uses. And keep this in mind. The photos that came out of the blue one that had all the smudges on it, that was a demo phone. It was handled by tons of people. It was never put into a pocket or anything. So that's kind of a factor that I'm starting to consider right now,
You're right.
So we'll find out.
I guess so.
Because I'm planning to basically never take my phone out of the case. I mean, maybe once or twice a month for B-roll. That's how I am with my stuff. Only thing I don't have a case on is my Apple Watch. Of course, I don't see a point in putting a case on an Apple Watch. It ruins the look.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of it looks ridiculous.
Especially when both of us have the stainless steel.
Yeah,
I paid
you buy stainless for a reason.
$700 for a watch that I want to look good. I'm not going to cover that with a case that's going to get a bunch of grime under it. Like, no.
Yeah, and then two, my MacBook. If a MacBook's falling, it's breaking. Or if it falls, a case isn't going to protect that. The case is going to shatter.
You'd be surprised,
I have
how much
I have
my
a little
MacBook took.
Yeah, I have a dbrand skin on my MacBook though, just because I like the look of it. I don't advocate for dbrand. I kind of think their company is a little bit odd,
Yeah,
especially with how they insult their consumers. But I got a dbrand specific skin, so it's not like the carbon fiber where I could have bought one on Amazon. I got the one that kind of looks like the macOS wallpaper.
I want to get one of those too, but I'm in a bit of a weird situation right now because the LCD magically broke on my 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro, and Apple re-quoted me because they tried to tell me that it's water damage. Well, yeah, maybe it is a little bit water damage, but it was fine. It worked fine.
What does water damage have to do with the screen?
The water
That's what I wanna
damage is
ask them.
nowhere near the screen connector even. It's like
No,
on
like
the
how
edge.
could water damage affect the screen, like the LCD? Maybe it's a liability thing.
It's
What I will
possible,
say though,
But anyway, my
That's
plan
gotta
is,
be it.
My plan
Yeah,
is
this
to
happened
get the
to
new
me.
Air.
that's good. But this happened to me. It was 2020. I had a 2018 15-inch MacBook Pro. Great computer, by the way, besides a stupid keyboard. One day I picked it up, and I didn't use it for a while because, I had a desktop and it was, COVID days. I picked it up and there was a green line going right down the screen. So I'm
Wow.
like, okay. And then a couple weeks later, that green line turned into a crack. And that computer was definitely water damaged. I spilled Sprite all over that thing in 2019, but I got it repaired by Apple for I had Apple Care Plus, so I got it repaired. And
Did they charge you $299?
yeah, that was because apparently
Yeah,
there's
that's what-
more damage.
They tried to charge me that too, but then they also had a price of like 800 something, and they couldn't. Really
That's for the water
explain it.
damage.
They couldn't really explain
Whoa.
it to me. So I was like, you know what? No, like my MacBook is already not in great condition.
It's probably not
So-
worth your but I actually went and I got that MacBook back from Apple,
Yeah,
and
same here.
and I paid the charges, right? I got it fixed.
Oh, you did?
$300 flat fee. They didn't see the water damage or something. So I went, I turned
Wow.
around, and I traded it. The day I got it, I ordered a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I traded the 15-inch. Yeah, I had the original 16-inch MacBook Pro. I got it for like half off.
That was
And
that
that was
2019.
Yeah, and that thing, it amazed me.
Yeah,
how that,
those are amazing. I love those.
Yeah, it amazed me how I was
Yeah,
able
I
to do
like
that.
those 16-inch Intels. Unfortunately, they're Intel, but still, they had to be the best Intel laptop you could get.
Here's an
It was.
unpopular
It
opinion.
really was.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I prefer Intel over M1. Like I understand the
I do
benefits
not.
of I understand the benefits of M1, but me personally,
You just want boot camp.
there's boot camp, and then there's also the fact of how like the whole recovery system works on M1. You can't just simply erase your drive, downgrade your OS if you want. You can't do that, and that's something that bothers me a
Yeah, you
lot.
can. I did it with mine. Remember, I
What
went
to
back to Monterey?
say?
You were on the beta though.
No, I was on Ventura full release. I went back to Monterey.
So you're telling me that I could get a USB and I could update.
I did it for you too. Remember, I did it.
I
did
know,
the same
but
thing
can
on
I-
your computer.
Can I install it with a USB? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I did. I used a USB.
Yeah, I think so.
Really? On M1?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah.
M1 Pro. I had a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Great computer.
Well, I
M1.
will say this. Another thing that bothers me is that you can't use M1 to put iPhones into DFU mode, and a lot of jailbreaking
Can't?
tools also don't work on M1. Yeah,
Oh, I never do that stuff anyways. That, I guess for you, but for me,
I don't do it too often.
Last-
But when I need to, I really need to. That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever need to do any of that, I have an old collector's iMac on my desk, and that thing can do all that. It's
I
like
use my 2012
16 years
MacBook
old.
Pro for that. I mean, it's not too big of a
Mm.
hassle. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy an Intel MacBook just because of it, because I have more MacBooks. I have them around, so, it's not a big deal.
So I feel like since Alpha and I are in production and we do like video production, all that,
Uh-huh.
it makes a lot more sense for us to go with M1
Definitely.
or M2.
Oh,
whatever.
definitely.
Because I can't tell you the amount of times where I was unable to put my old MacBooks on my lap because they would burn. It was.
Another thing too that made me appreciate my 16-inch MacBook Pro. This was actually while I was out in Maryland on vacation in May. News had broke for Ford was switching. Ford was the first to announce they're switching to Tesla's charging standard. So, all right, I dropped everything, pulled out my MacBook, 50% charge. I ended at 40% after a full editing session.
How long of
Yeah,
an editing
I,
session was that?
2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that is something that's amazing. I went back to the 14-inch display. I like big computers, don't get me wrong. Thing was, though, I was picking up my computer less because it was less of a gap between my laptop and my desktop. So I went to 14-inch just to have like that extra bit of portability. The battery isn't all there, but I started at like 100% and I ended at like 79%, and I edit for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. When I was on vacation about 2 weeks ago. And it's impressive. It really is, because my 16-inch MacBook Pro, it had the biggest battery in a laptop at that time, or at least a MacBook. And it
Well, the biggest legal battery for any laptop for carrying on flights.
Yeah.
Right under the limit.
You can technically fly with it.
Yeah.
Just
But,
barely.
Anyways, back on track, because we've been off track for like 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
I am really excited to see macOS Sonoma in action, or whatever they're calling it, macOS Sonata, whatever. I don't know.
It is Sonoma.
Oh. You guys gonna update?
William Sonoma. I don't know. Kind of an odd name.
Monday Sonata.
I'm not planning to
Yeah.
update. I'm planning to stay on Monterey until I don't have to. But if I get the new MacBook Air, it looks like I'm gonna have to deal with the update. So.
I mean, you can go to Monterey on that if you really want.
That's what I would do. I don't like
But,
the newer ones.
How about you, Alpha?
Of course I'm going to update. I always update all of my devices to whatever the latest is, even if it's a buggy mess.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by updating my Mac Studio, because my MacBook Pro is my main machine. I don't know how many people know this. I use the MacBook Pro way more.
I wanted
than
to
the
say,
Studio.
you still have your studio?
Yeah, I am on it right now. I use the MacBook Pro a whole lot more because portability and it's more performant.
Hey Alpha,
I'll be
I have a
honest.
random question. Suppose that Apple did allow downgrades. Suppose you updated your 10s Max to 17 and you didn't like it. Would you maybe downgrade it, or would you keep it on 17?
I'd probably... I'm not really too sure. It depends on how bad and buggy it is. If
I
it's
see.
worse than 16, then yeah, I'll go back to 16. But if it's not as bad as 16, then I'll take the few wins that I get, because
Yeah.
it'll still be better than 16 and still keep it on 17.
Yeah.
Alpha, you're on
So
17, right?
16, huh?
You're on 17 on the XS, right?
Oh, I'm on 17 on all my devices, my
Oh, okay.
10s Max
How-
and my
I
13
have
Pro
to
Max.
know, how
Okay.
does 17 run on the 10s Max?
Very smoothly.
Really?
To my surprise, that yeah, this is the oldest phone that supports it.
I'm considering updating my 10s.
It still feels like I pulled it out of the box.
Here's the thing for me. I'm worried that if I update my 10s, that it's going to iOS 16 is going to become unsigned, and I won't be able to downgrade it. Like, it could happen.
You got another couple of, well, I don't know, with 17.0.1 coming out, but
I have no clue.
I'm kind of excited for live wallpapers on the new macOS. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's gonna look awesome.
Yeah, didn't they get rid of that with iOS? Because I've been looking for it in the settings and I can't seem to find it anymore.
So on the Macs, they're bringing like some sort of like Apple TV type live wallpapers. On the iPhone and iPad, I've heard they're going to bring it back, or they have brought it back. I'm not sure. I haven't updated for the sole reason I'm not sure how it's going to work with the 15 Pro, because I don't know if it's running a slightly older version of 17. So whenever I'm waiting for a new phone, I'll keep my current phone on the older version, so that if there is any issues, I won't have to update the 15 Pro out of the box for any reason. That's just because I had a bad experience with an old iPhone a few years ago. And on my iPad, though, I have live wallpapers working just fine.
So I do actually have.
Yeah,
I haven't searched on the iPad yet.
I do have the 17 update installed on my iPad. And it's been fine. I don't really use my iPad too much, so that's why I really can't speak on that. But it's been fine.
I use my iPad more than anything else. I haven't noticed it, and I guess that's how updates should work. It's worked fine, haven't noticed any issues. My iPad has been flawless since I got it. It's worked, and that's what I like about it.
I wonder if iPadOS 17 might fix my overheating issues I've been having on my iPad Air.
That's interesting, because I do remember my iPad heating up a little bit more on 16. I've been on the beta since day one, by the way. I got off the beta, though.
Yeah, I've asked Teddy if we have literally the exact same iPad, down to the
Elias
color,
does
down
too.
to everything inside.
Elias
And
does
yet-
too.
Oh, really? Have you experienced overheating issues with your iPad Air?
Air 5?
Yes.
No, not at all. It's been very good on heavy games, YouTube. It's always on max brightness as well.
Because for some reason, you know the game Flow Free, right?
Like where you connect the
That
dots.
game from, 2010?
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
a
play
that's a
the
very light game.
least appealing games. Yeah, it's an extremely light game, and in case nobody remembers, let me pull it up.
I used to be addicted to it, so I remember all too well.
Yeah, this game.
Yeah, the game I used to play on my
This thing
Kindle
will
back in,
overheat from playing this game.
That's odd. That's really odd.
I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I haven't played it much
have
in the
here-
time since I've
you know what you
updated
should
dated
do?
this, so...
You should back it up, reset it, and then sign into just the App Store. The way you do that... Oh, wait, no way. Show me your flip cover. Is that the Apple one?
Yeah, this is the official
Dude,
Apple
we have
case.
the exact same case.
this-
No way. I can show you over here, actually. I can show you. The podcast viewers won't be able to see this, but same exact iPad. That's so
Oh
funny.
my goodness.
How
Do you have the
gigs
Apple
did you get,
Pencil as
Elias?
well?
I do. Where is it?
Elias, how many gigs do you have?
256.
Oh,
We're
I have
down
the
to-
64 version.
Wait, they made that in 64?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what my sister has, and
Oh, I thought...
yeah, my sister deals with
I
some
thought they all
significant
had-
storage issues. So
I thought they all had 128. I thought everything Apple sold was 128 except for the SE.
I wish.
No. No, the iPad Pros
Oh.
is the only tablet they sell with 128 standard. The rest are 64, which is...
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
64
right in my
64 in
opinion.
2023, like no. That's
I mean, I bought this under the presumption that I'd only use this as my thumbnail machine and secondary monitor when I'm on the go.
How's your storage?
So the storage doesn't bother me that much, but still, 64 for a base iPad Air.
So
For,
you're doing
I paid
fine with it,
$500 for this, but retail is $600.
Ah, I see. I'm pretty sure mine was
Yeah,
like
retail is $600
yeah,
for
mine
this.
was like $750. It was a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't know, something about it. I prefer this over the iPad Pro just because of the color and everything. Kind of silly, but
Yeah, I like the color.
the iPad Pro is not really my thing. Like, I'm definitely not a power user when it comes to iPads. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody really is a power user when it comes to iPads because what can you do with
can't.
them power
It's-
user wise?
It's a big iPhone.
You can do
It's
you
a
can
big
do,
iPhone.
video
I'm not
editing and
gonna lie.
whatnot on it.
It's a big iPhone. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you seen our reviews of Final Cut on the
Okay, yeah,
iPad?
it might not be that good.
Final Cut on the iPad is useless.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's worthless. I'm a Final Cut user on Mac. I was really excited. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to use 12.9-inch editing machine on the go.
I think it's pretty funny
Right.
how Apple markets it like, oh, this tablet can replace your computer. Like, no. No, it cannot.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can't.
the problem is that Pro tablet cannot replace a Pro computer. Even Photoshop, because I would think the most professional people likely to buy this would be artists because of Apple Pencil. Right. Even Photoshop is nerfed compared to the desktop version.
Yeah, it's never what it seems. It's always
I've given up all hope for it. I mean, the thing is, I still wanted the iPad Pro, but not because I wanted to do pro stuff on it. It's because, well, one, I have no fingerprints, so Touch ID hardly works for me. And also, I'm big screen everything. It's go big or go home. I just got new monitors here that are bigger than my last one. I've upgraded from 27 inches to 32 inches.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, here, I can
let's
pan
see.
around right here.
I
can't turn them on because my laptop's not plugged in.
Are they curved?
Yeah, they're Samsung. What did they brand them as? Viewfinity. The boxes are like right.
I have a Samsung curved
monitor
over
there.
27-inch. Pretty basic one.
4K?
No, it's not 4K. It's like the lowest model, but it's fine for my needs.
Yeah. Yeah, these are two 32-inch 4K monitors that I just got. I put my 27-inch over at the music set right there. Those are my 27-inch 1080p monitors.
Nice. So you got like two setups.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Each
nice.
with a Thunderbolt dock. So all I have to do is plug in my laptop to whatever setup, and I'm all set to start either editing videos at my desk or recording music at my
that's
keyboard.
Cool.
That's the benefit of having a laptop.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Yeah. At this point, I don't see the need for a
desktop.
desktop.
Plug and play. Like you can have two different setups. Connect your Thunderbolt cable, and there you go. Everything's connected. You know. I like that aspect. Even if I want more ports, that's definitely something that I like.
Yeah. A cool thing that my day job, cool thing that we did around the office, we're in the process of swapping the computers for the desktops for laptops because at this point the laptops are now powerful enough to do what we need them to do, and we're replacing all those desktop stations with Thunderbolt docks.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Like
yeah, so that way I can work in the quiet office, do some programming, and then say something goes wrong at the machine. Well, instead of having to go all the way back and forth between the machine and the office, I just take my laptop with me and plug it into one of the desktop setups there, and boom, I'm all set to go.
Do you use Windows or Mac there?
Sadly, we have to use Windows because we need SolidWorks.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Most businesses can't really use Mac.
Yeah,
Windows
to me,
is
it's
awful, though, I'm not going to lie. I really am not a big fan of Windows.
I don't like Windows.
Oh, neither am I.
Awful.
Yeah, I have a Dell XPS that I use for work, so that's how I do my Windows stuff.
Actually, I bought a little cheap used Dell XPS off eBay for little Windows stuff that I have to do. It was like a $200 little old XPS. Replaced the battery. That was like $50. Bought some new thermal paste for like $10, and all in all, it works. You know, I need it for Windows stuff, and whatever. You know, it works. But
yeah,
it's
I love
slow.
the hardware of my XPS. It's just
Exactly.
I hate the software on it.
Exactly. They make such good hardware. It's the only hardware that can compete with a Mac. Now, with that said, can't compete with Apple's laptop displays, their battery, well, unless Dell made their own M1 competitor, which would not
Well,
work
it could
out.
compete with Apple's displays in a sense. They do offer a 4K option on their 15 and 17-inch models.
I'm going to say this. Mini LED is so much better than OLED.
Mini LED has
If you have a
Yeah,
good
that's-
mini LED.
Mini LED
If
has
you
the
have a good
blooming
mini
effect,
LED.
though. Oh yeah, of course.
But if you have a good mini LED like the MacBook ones, it's not comparable.
Yeah, I don't ever see blooming on my MacBook's display.
What MacBook?
Yeah,
do you have?
I was
16-inch M1 Pro.
I saw
I've-
some.
So it has the mini LED.
I think
I didn't
saw
see any
some
blooming
online,
on my 14-inch.
when I first had it, but I don't know. Didn't really pay attention, and I had to look if I wanted to see it. Like it wasn't something I noticed. You know.
Yeah, so
I've had to hunt for it. I can't find it.
Yeah, I had the original 14-inch, original 16-inch. Had those both at 2 different time periods. It's not like I just spent like $5,000 on 2 laptops at once. And the second gen 14-inch. None of them I've been able to see blooming unless I'm really, really looking. 16-inch I brought to a hotel when I had it, and I was using that instead of the TV. Pitch black. Couldn't see blooming. It wasn't there, you know? And
Yeah, it truly is a non-issue.
exactly. Now, on my iPad, when I got it, I brought it to a restaurant that was pretty dimly lit. Very much there. Then I put a matte screen protector on it, and now it just blends in. Can't really, it's not a problem. People act like it is.
It's just not.
It's not a problem for me. Like even if I notice it, like it's not something that's gonna bother me like that because I'm not gonna see it in a lot of circumstances. You know, like unless it's super dark, I'm not gonna see anything.
Well, even when it's super dark, I can't see anything. To me, it still looks fairly sharp. Like the only way I think people have gotten it caught, they have to use cameras in order to see it all the time. It's always the cameras that pick it up, but in the
Cameras
real
pick
world,
up
you just
more.
never see it.
Cameras pick up more. I can't see burn-in on my phone at all. But if I use a camera, I can see the task or the nav, whatever, the little bar at the bottom. I can see the time. I can see the keyboard. I can see Snapchat. It's. But when I'm looking, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a non-issue.
Guys, unfortunately, I have
burn-in.
to go. I have to go
Okay.
and eat dinner. So yeah, I can't stay on.
Okay, we'll finish this.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for
No
joining.
problem.
Yeah, but burn-in, it used to be an issue like 10 years ago. It's not an issue anymore. Especially with Apple displays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for the 15 Pro. I'm going to look at what Teddy was sending. So apparently the
Yeah, I got
15's
it.
price dropped in Germany.
More than just Germany. He
And the
also
UK.
mentioned the UK as well.
Good for people there. I
I don't know how they did it though,
Yeah.
because it's titanium.
Yeah, that's weird. It's
It's like 35 times the price of stainless steel.
really.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Teddy said the 15 and the 15 Plus, so not the Pros.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes sense.
Yeah, so I guess aluminum. I don't know.
Be nice if they did that here because, in my opinion, they seriously need a price drop.
Yeah, I don't know why they have the lineup how it is now. I think they should sell the 14 and the 15. And the 14 should be at like, I don't know, $449, $499. 15 should be at like $649, $699. And then the Pros should be around $899. I think that's how they should do it. But of course, that's pretty unrealistic knowing the prices of everything and how this stuff takes a while to make and all. Development
Yeah,
prices.
for me, it's just I want them to set the prices of the 15 and the Plus, the aluminum models. Both of those need to be $100 cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course they're putting 256 gig on the Pro Maxes, so anyone who wants the bigger screen size but doesn't want more storage is now getting kind of screwed. But
Yeah.
I went for 512 again. I actually store a lot of lossless music files on my phone. And I download a lot of stuff because I never know when Wi-Fi is going to go out. But yeah, it kind of annoys me that they got rid of 128 on the Pro Max, but it makes a little bit of sense, and I like how they priced it the same. But people say, oh, it's the same price as last year. No, it's not. If you just want a big iPhone Pro, the big iPhone Pro, you're paying $100 more minimum, or what is it, 100 to 150? Something like that.
It's now $1,200 starting price.
Yeah, so you're paying $100 more than last year if you just want the minimum spec, just a straight up Pro Max iPhone.
Yeah, and that's only because they got rid of that one storage tier below it. So
yeah, so it is more money now. People shouldn't be saying. I don't think people should be saying, "Oh, it's the same price. You have 256 gigs of storage now." It's like you compare it spec to spec, maybe, but if you're not comparing it spec to spec, that's when you start getting issues. But
yeah, I prefer to just say it as the Pro Max did not get any price changes, but they did remove a storage option. So
that makes sense.
The price to obtain is higher.
Yeah, I mean,
but the value is actually the same.
Yeah, I would get 256 or 512. It was me.
I'd probably go the base model myself because now you can record stuff to an external hard drive.
Right, I forgot about that. That is one of... I actually picked up a USB-C flash drive yesterday for that.
I love USB-C so much. What took them so long to put it on the iPhone?
Exactly.
Aside from the EU.
And try and guess how much I paid for a 64 gig USB-C flash drive. $12.
Okay, I was thinking something more ridiculous, but
storage,
okay, yeah.
Flash storage is dirt cheap right now.
Oh, yeah.
$12. That's with tax and all. But, yeah, I'm really glad about USB-C.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought initially probably getting a terabyte iPhone next time if I get a new one, but after they announced you can record directly to an SSD, I could get a larger drive than a terabyte.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
So to me, it makes more sense. Get the base model and just record to that SSD.
Here's one of the things I like about Apple's new approach. So, if you look, 2021, Apple released the MagSafe battery pack. First time they haven't released a battery case since like 2016, right?
Yep.
So if I bought one when it came out, of course it got stolen or lost. I don't know. It's gone now though. But if I kept that, I would have been able to take that from my 12 to my 13 to my 14 to my 15, no issues. And then the flash drive, instead of buying 512 gigs of storage up front, you can now buy 512 gig flash drive, take that from your 15, 16, 17, as long as they keep USB-C, which is, foreseeable future.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And the way Apple's doing it now is you can take your accessories with you. Instead of paying, up front, you can take stuff with you. And I like that. I do.
I also like how now we don't have to figure, what do I have this cable? Do I have this cable? And so, no, they all have the same end.
Yeah. I can now... I'm just waiting for Magic Keyboard and all that to get USB-C. That's when I'll upgrade my my peripherals. Of course, it doesn't matter because my peripherals last 3 months on a charge anyway. But
yeah. I still don't
people...
understand the hate for the Magic Mouse. It makes no sense to me.
I made a whole video defending it.
Yeah, the whole charging port location, it's a non-issue. It's really... this issue is overrated. It's overhyped.
It's an issue if you make it an issue. But if you know what you're doing and you have good scheduling, you're going to plug your mouse in every 3 months, and then you're not going to have an issue for the next 3 months. I've plugged this thing in 3 times since I got it.
Yeah, and then the other people who say that this isn't comfortable to hold, it's not ergonomic.
I've never had an issue myself.
Yeah, I actually take a look at how these people handle these other mice and how they handle the Magic Mouse. They're holding it wrong.
Yeah, and if you say that,
it's literally that simple.
fanboy.
They're actually holding it wrong. This is how you do it, guys.
Yeah, like
It's not, you rest your hand on it. That's not it at all. No wonder why you guys are uncomfortable using these mice.
If you do that, then it's like, why do people do that? It's like you're holding a phone. Like your mouse is
Yeah.
not your phone.
You're sliding your phone along the table.
Yeah, but I just want to take a second for the engineering of this mouse. The touch panel and just how well it works. I've used other mice. None of them have been this responsive and this intuitive with the touch panel. It's just
That's the thing. I used to hate trackpads, like absolutely despise them, until I've used this trackpad on my MacBook Pro, the Force Touch one. Five out of star. It's perfect. I have zero qualms with it.
it really is great.
It's my finger just glides across it. It presses with minimal force. I can press it anywhere on the trackpad and it still
Oh,
responds.
that's a big one. That's especially after using that XPS, the 2016 or whatever it is, 2017. You really
2021, 2022, XPS still has this issue too.
Yeah, and
Can only
I'm
press
sitting
on the
here,
bottom.
I used my XPS for like a day, just to get used to Windows again, and then I went back to my MacBook at the end of the day, and I was like, oh my, yeah, I use that trackpad and that screen, and it's like, why do people buy other stuff? You know, it's like, when Apple's this ahead of the game on laptops, sure, if you have to game, if you're really like a gamer, go with Windows. I'm not gonna say Mac is good for gaming, but that's more.
Well, that, and also if you're a gamer, you'd never use a trackpad for gaming, would you?
Yeah, unless I don't know what kind of game you would play with a trackpad. I'm sure there's some sort of like strategy game, but it's like I used to be a pretty big like Call of Duty player. I would never in my life use a trackpad for that game.
Yeah,
You have to,
it's a common thing I see on gaming laptops. They'll usually cheap out on the trackpad because they know the people to use these, they're going to plug in their own separate gaming mouse and never use the trackpad.
Some of them, I'm pretty sure I saw one that didn't even have a trackpad. I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the point of a laptop. It just kind of puts a desktop in a big case with a battery, but alright.
Yeah, goes to show how so many of these Windows OEM devices they don't prioritize the trackpad, which
Yeah. Apple
I'm
does.
glad Apple does.
And Apple does it because that's what you're interacting with. Your keyboard.
Yeah, that's how you
trackpad,
interact
and
with the
display.
device.
And
You know, I think I understand why so many of these PC advocates, they all say they want a touchscreen. Maybe it's because their trackpad sucks that much.
I would never ask for a touchscreen on my Mac.
I mean, neither would I.
Yeah, trackpads are just that good.
Yeah.
And people call me an Apple fanboy. I'm like, well, it's because their products are pretty good, if you ask me. I'm sitting here with my MacBook Pro and my XPS, and sure, there's a difference between them. Remember that old white XPS I had back, had to be July 2022?
Yeah.
That thing, it was good. But with that said, the MacBook was better. I use the trackpad on the MacBook, keyboard on the MacBook, it's all better. And I hate to say that because I really liked the XPS's design. It was a great looking machine. But the MacBook, I wouldn't go back to the XPS because of how good the MacBook is.
Yeah, I could never go back to PCs and Windows. Well, one, Windows, obviously, but two, the hardware is just not as polished as what I've got right in front of me right now.
It's like they don't test it enough. It's like they test in a lab. Oh yeah, that's good. Works in a lab. They don't, it's like Apple kind of like uses it as an average consumer would. And it's like that's where you get the fine details right when you're using it day to day.
Yep.
But I don't even know how we started that off. Oh, 15 price drop. Okay, 15 price drop
Yeah,
led to a
something about
trackpad
that.
discussion. So 2025 Chevy Bolt EV leaked. He sent a few photos of that a few days ago. I'm looking at that.
When did he send those photos? Because I don't see any of them.
I will do a reply to it, so
Okay.
you can probably jump to that. Not sure.
Oh, that thing right there. Yeah,
I
his
thought he
dad
said-
spotted it.
I thought he said at 2015 at first, and I was like, why is that on the road? But then I read it 2025. I don't have a lot of thoughts on it, but it's okay. You know, it's the Chevy Bolt.
I actually think that's the Blazer, not the Bolt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the Blazer's not out yet, and I would think they're keeping that. The Bolt is supposed to end production actually right around now, so that way they can redevelop it later for their Ultium platform. So to me, it doesn't make sense to see it right now. So I think that's the Blazer that
you make a good
his
point
dad
there.
spotted on the road.
You make a good point there. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Though I'm not even entirely sure if that is a Blazer because
Whatever it is, it's...
I'm looking at the taillight design. That doesn't look like shit. That reminds me so much of Volvo.
You're right. Hold on. And Volvo puts the logo in the middle. Right?
And yeah, the bow tie's not that long. What the heck is this?
That doesn't look like a Chevy. It almost looks a little bit like a Ford from the side, a Volvo from the back, and it looks like it's got like wheels from like a Nissan or rims.
Yeah, those are
whatever hubcaps. I don't know what those things have. I'm not sure.
aero covers. That's what they are. Jeez, what is this thing?
Yeah, I
That
think
can't
he
be the
spotted-
Volvo EX30, is it?
I haven't seen that yet. It looks like somebody wrapped it in a D-brand skin. Not gonna lie.
I gotta see. What does the EX30 look like?
He might have solved something like that. But
Alright.
it's an interesting looking vehicle. It just doesn't seem like it's that exciting. Like I can't imagine that thing.
Well, if it's the EX30, then actually it is really exciting because the EX30 is supposed to be a really cheap electric vehicle. Oh my gosh!
It is?
It is the EX30.
Wow. That's Volvo, right?
Yep.
That's odd how we got that right. Nice.
That's the Volvo EX30.
That's something. Oh, and my Mac went from light mode to dark mode. Automatic time change. That is... I love that feature on any device that has it. Android has it, iOS has it, everywhere has it. It's just such a nice feature.
One of the best features ever.
Yeah. But, well, you gotta see where that goes. Because I don't know why that's on the road right now.
They're testing... I know that they've announced it initially in Europe. They announced it in Italy. Then a few weeks ago, they had it at some auto show. And I believe now they're testing it around here on the U.S. streets to get range figures, performance numbers, probably take it to a charging station, see what it does.
Yeah. Next topic, if we're done with that, is actually going to be a little bit funny. So, the Q5, been driving that since April. And I
don't think the
now say-
podcast knows that you have one yet.
Oh, well, my family got a 2023 Audi Q5. It is a hybrid. It's a plug-in hybrid. I know a lot of people hate on those. I like it because when, there's good performance in the engine. It's a 4-cylinder, but still there's good performance in there. But it's also got like 30 miles on electric. I never wish that has more range. I've not once said, oh, I wish this has more range. It's perfect, and I can see why people buy full electrics, full EVs. That makes more sense because you can go multiple days on the same charge for one if you're commuting to work, like 10, 15 miles. With the Q5, though, I wanted to do a test because we got it in, like, spring, and now it's turning fall. How would the range be
we've
affected
known
by
about this for a
different
while,
weather?
guys.
Yeah. How would the range be affected? It's interesting. This is something I wasn't expecting. There's no range difference. I have not seen a bit of range difference except when it was one of the hottest days, I got like 5 or 10 miles less range, which was odd. But I
It's
thought they
because
were
you had the
supposed to
AC
have.
running.
That might have. Yeah, that probably was it actually. But I thought they were supposed to last longer in the heat, and they were supposed to degrade more in the heat and last longer in the heat than the cold. But I guess the AC, that is a good point. But
Yeah.
I will say this. Um I don't see myself wishing more range, because then you have the gas, and then you have that, gas tank, and it's like not that big of a thing. I can make it 30 miles somewhere, find a charging station, put it on there. That's saying it works, because I'm going to say this, half of the chargers in my area don't work. Just don't. Been to one in a parking garage, called the people on the phone. Nope, dead. Went to one in a shopping center, right? Somebody actually smashed one of them, so there's two, and the second one didn't work. So I actually have a photo I'll send. Somebody, it looks like they probably ran it over. Either that or somebody like whacked it over and over, which was
Probably somebody
interesting.
backing up to it and backed up a little too far.
Right, maybe. Or this one would be kind of interesting. It almost looks like somebody took off and forgot to unplug their car. Which,
How the heck is that possible?
that's odd. Maybe the thing broke midway through charging it. Like, the thing just kind of died, because that tends to be a
Because
thing with
last I
these.
checked, the cars know when they're plugged in, and they
Yeah,
should
they
know
do.
not to go into drive.
Yeah, it's odd, but I sent a photo. I'm pretty sure I sent it to the group.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
not.
trying to
Who
get
did I
my...
just send that to?
I got it.
Oh, I
You know,
did.
you sent it to the group chat.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because I sent... Oh, yeah. Okay, it was just hidden by OBS. Yeah, so...
Oh, gosh!
yeah.
What happened to that thing?
And that was on, I believe, my second day of owning it.
Yeah, here's what the image looks like, guys.
It was odd.
Oh, that is one mangled up J1772 cable.
I'm gonna see how many days that was into having that, because it was right when I got it. Okay, that was 4 days after I started with EVs. And it, at first I was like, oh, that's vandalism. But I don't know what it is. It's odd. But other than that, previous Q5 we came from is a 2020. It didn't have wireless CarPlay. I'm gonna say going to wireless CarPlay is probably the best thing that I have done, because it's so convenient. Get in and go.
Oh, yeah.
And does your you have a Volvo, right?
No, another Buick. It's a
Oh, right.
2019 Buick LaCrosse.
Does that have wireless?
It's not wireless. It's just wired CarPlay. I do wish it was wireless, because I have a wireless charger that I just like to slot the
Right.
phone into, pull up CarPlay, boom. I don't have to worry about finding wherever the heck that lightning cable fell to and plug it in.
You know, you
I
can
still
make
hate
it
dealing
wireless.
with lightning.
You can make it wireless.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can find some USB adapter thing I can plug into the car and then make
Yeah.
it wireless that way.
I was planning to do that to the old Q5, but didn't want to pay $100 for that, and got rid of it too soon. Or not too soon, but because I think this was good timing with the current Q5. But yeah, it's been a nice experience owning it. Got the Audi app still. I'm gonna see what the charge is right now. 99%. So yeah, it's got like 4,500 miles on it at this point. So definitely been a good experience.
Yeah, the one thing I want you to take note, though, is try to have it finished charging in the morning and not, like, right now at night, where it's going to sit at 100% overnight.
Oh, we actually, so the way my house is set up, we have the like washing machine charger and the washing machine outlet in the garage, right? Like the big outlet.
Oh, you use that? You use the dryer outlet method.
Yeah, so we have one of those, and for my dad to get in, we have to move the Q5 to the other side of the driveway. So we pretty much like usually it finishes charging in like 2 hours. So we charge it, then we move it to the other side of the driveway and unplug it. So it always sits around like 99%. Um, until
Charges in 2 hours?
yeah, it's 30 miles of range, so it's not kind of makes sense to
I'm
me.
trying to think, how many amps are you pulling into that to get 2 hours worth of charging that fast?
I have no idea. But
You don't know the amperage of your charger?
nah, I haven't went into that yet.
Ah.
But yeah, it's surprising. When we were charging at these like stations and like with the wall adapter, I'm like, it was so bad because I would get like 5% charge overnight. It was like I can charge my iPhone off of this cable, or I can charge a car off of this cable, which would charge faster. But yeah, that was definitely a very big upgrade for charging. Going to get the like washing machine outlet thing. But
Yeah, so in case you guys are wondering what he's talking about, there's a little splitter that you can get, or you could just unplug the dryer. But basically, if you have a dryer outlet close to your garage, some owners will literally plug their charging cable into that outlet and charge their car off of that.
yeah, we actually got it put in. So
Yeah,
we had it,
nice.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Teddy also said that you saw a Mach E, right?
Yeah, I
You
got
gotcha.
to check out the Mach E in person.
Where?
My local Ford dealership, they've about 2 months ago, they got some electric vehicles in stock. They've had the same F-150 Lightning from at least 6 months ago. And I finally figured out why it hasn't sold. It's because MSRP on that thing is 81 grand. And then they got to be marking it up higher than that. So there's no way they're selling that thing.
They mark it up. I would buy. I hate to say this because I am a Ford fan in a lot of ways. I would buy a Rivian. Rivian's nice. I like Rivian.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be the truck I'd get as well.
yeah, and I'm not a truck guy, but if I ever have to buy a truck, F-150 Lightning or Rivian. But it seems like the Rivians just have so much more tech.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. I actually sat in an F-150 Lightning, but I'll explain that in a bit. Keep going though. I'm interested about the.
All right, so yeah. Unfortunately, I did not get to test drive it because they're trying to keep the miles on it down, which makes sense. But from what I did get to see, I've mentioned on the podcast that how much I've hated Ford, not because necessarily their designs or many other company decisions, but the biggest reason why I told everyone I'm never going to own a Ford is because somehow they have figured
the
out.
worst seats.
Yeah, they've somehow managed to figure out how to perfectly engineer the seats to make me as uncomfortable as humanly possible.
I can agree with that. The seats on that thing, or the 20
The Lightning?
something. It was an old Fusion. Were just awful.
Oh.
And it doesn't look
Yeah.
like they've changed them at all. It's like,
Yeah,
seriously?
I've ridden in Fusions, I've ridden in Tauruses, I've ridden in Explorers, I've ridden in, actually, the Ford Flex even, and so many F-150s. I cannot get comfortable in them. In fact, I make the drivers nervous because of my shuffling about trying to get comfortable.
Yeah. They're just not that good. But,
Yeah, they've never been comfortable.
yeah.
Until I sat in the Mustang Mach-E.
What happened?
They figured it out.
Is it good, or is it like just a bit better?
It's good. It's actually good.
Would you say it's like better than your personal car?
I'd say it's actually equivalent.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
So
It's supposed to be on the premium side, which
Yeah.
is where my car leans. So
Would you,
I find them to be similar. Were you saying something?
Would you consider buying a Mach-E in the future, like in the far future, even?
All they have to do, which thankfully Ford has been the first to announce this, all they have to do is switch the charging port to NACS, if for whatever reason I decide I need an SUV, which is truly the last thing that would sway me away from it, I would definitely put that up for consideration now.
I like the Mach-E, but I don't think it's a Mustang. I think it's just a Ford.
Oh, neither do I.
Because you sit there with a Mustang GT and you get pure performance. You sit there with a Mach-E, and from what I've heard, you get something that's a little bit slower than, well, like a Ford Edge. That's what I've heard. I've never driven a Mach-E.
I think someone might. It's not slower than a Ford Edge. I know that. It's the drivers may choose to drive that way because the people to buy electric cars right now are the efficiency nuts.
Yeah.
So, but no, actually, it does have performance.
It does?
It does. It's not as good as the actual Mustangs, which is why I still don't believe this should be branded as a Mustang.
Yeah, it just seems like.
But it does have some performance.
Name. Yeah, if I was gonna buy a Mustang, I'd buy a GT. I'm just gonna be honest. I like those, but if they called that, I don't know, what's a Ford crossover, like the Focus, right?
The Escape.
If they called that the Escape 2024, and they put that performance, and if they did something like Audi did, and they named it the Mustang Edition, because Audi puts like e-tron Edition in front. I'm pretty sure the Q5 is called like e-tron mode when you're in full electric mode. They put Mustang or like Mustang in that name for like more performance.
I'm surprised they didn't do Lightning, because to me it's kind of weird branding how Mustang Mach-E and then F-150 Lightning. They almost don't sound like they're from the same brand.
They should say F-150 Mustang if they're going to do that. Then you have the Ford, Escape Mustang. Now, with that said, that would screw up Google search results, and I think that would be kind of bad. But maybe they should have just called it the Escape Lightning. I think that would be pretty good.
I would think so as well.
Yeah, that's what I think they should do.
Another thing that I discovered too, I personally don't like the way that the SUV looks in photos and in video.
Mach-E?
Yeah, it doesn't look good in photos and video.
Does it look better in real life? Because I haven't seen one in a couple of years.
Way better. So much better.
I gotta check one of those out again at some point. Does it have...
They are good-looking vehicles.
Does it still have the, big screen with the actual, physical knob?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I liked that. I went in an F-150 Lightning at the fair. It was actually one of the times this summer where I've just been out and about. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't able to record most of the times this summer. I've just been I was very busy.
Yeah.
And I went to the fair, and there's this Ford thing, and I had to check it out, check the stereo out. My friend even was allowed to honk the horn, which was kind of funny. But
that's the loudest part of an electric vehicle.
Yep. Yeah, but it was nice, I'm not gonna lie. Very spacious, and I liked that. The bed was nice. I'm not that, I don't really know that much about trucks, but it looked nice. And there's even
it's really nice considering the amenities that it has in it, like the Pro Power on board.
Yeah. And
so useful for people on a job site.
Yeah. The front trunk had a lot more space than I would expect. A lot more. And I like that. I think... Do Rivians have a front trunk?
They do, but the front of it doesn't open up like the F-150s, where it doesn't take that fake grille. It's literally just the standard, pop the hood like a Tesla or something.
Ah, alright. Yeah, but I liked it.
Yeah, I got to see one. I got to see that one a little closer when I went to ask about the Mach-E, because that's genuinely the vehicle I'm more excited about in terms of Ford's lineup. It's because I'm just
Mach-E.
not a fan of full-size pickups. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, pickup trucks have gotten too big, and so I just didn't want to bring any of my attention towards the Lightning because it's. I mean, it's. I actually keep thinking this thing is huge, but when I actually stood by it, and keep in mind I'm a short guy, I'm 5'8", that thing has seemed a lot smaller than you'd think.
The Mach-E
Until you
or
get
Lightning?
behind the wheel.
The Lightning.
The Lightning. Yeah.
The Lightning was pretty big when I saw it. I didn't really like compare height with it. I didn't really think to do that. Of course, it's bigger than the Q5. Obviously, it's a
Oh
truck.
yeah, definitely.
You know, the Q5 is 5'3", and I consider that a tall vehicle. But it looked pretty big, the Lightning. I've only been in like 2 trucks in my life, the Lightning and a Chevy of some sort when I was in Texas. Of course, it was in Texas, a pickup truck in Texas, yeah, but they were nice. I'm not a truck guy, as I've said, but if I had to have a truck, I would do an F-150 Lightning or a Rivian. R1T, I think they have, right? Isn't that like what the...
Yeah, it's the
Rivian
R1T.
truck? Yeah. Rivian seems like a... I like Rivians. On Friday, so tomorrow, I might actually sit in one of the Lucid Airs.
Really?
Yeah, so the mall that I'm going to pick up my iPhone from has a Lucid store. And I've always like walked by it and I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this, but I'm gonna try and make time tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get there a little bit
Please
earlier
film
now.
it.
Yeah, because
Please film
I
it.
went to the Tesla store, and I was checking out that, and one of my friends was there, and he actually noted the hood, like, was a little bit hollow, which was odd, but I'm not sure. But I'm excited to sit in the Lucid Air because I've heard that thing has really good quality inside. And
Yeah, the interior, they paid so much attention to detail in that, and it really pains me just talking about this vehicle because in so many aspects, like the powertrain engineering, the interior material design, and quality altogether in that, they put so much effort into that, and it shows. But they completely missed other aspects of the car,
I
like
haven't,
exterior build quality. There's
it's
no
not that
paint
good?
on those vehicles.
what?
There are the paint level on it is so thin. The car you drive, your Audi, that thing's got to have like at least around 10, 11 mils of paint, not millimeters, mils. There's a difference. Compared to the Lucid Air, when people have taken paint meters to that, they're measuring like maybe 1.5 mils of paint.
That's just cheap. What's the point in that? That's just cheap. Beeping out for no reason.
The problem with that is that paint is so thin. If there's any issues with it, you can't correct it. You will literally scratch it off the metal.
Wow. And that's like what,
You have no paint to
$100,000
work
car?
with. Yeah, this is a $150,000 car too.
Oh man. Yeah, that's because I've seen them at the store when I'm passing by. Or the little like I'm not gonna call it a dealership. It's not a dealership. It's a demonstration room.
It's a showroom.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've seen them on the road once or twice. And they're
I was lucky enough to see one on my trip it was actually on my way from DC to, what's it, Assateague Island in Maryland?
I've never heard of that in my life.
It's right on the tip of the peninsula
You saw one?
between the Chesapeake and the Atlantic.
Yeah, I know that didn't Rivians have a lot of like problems when they first came out?
They've had some issues, but for the most part, Rivian's been actually doing a decent job upgrading the assembly lines to get rid of these issues.
Because I saw probably 3 or 4. One of my neighbors has a Rivian. Like a Rivian, a Model 3, 2 Rivians and a Model 3, I believe, or maybe it's a Model S.
Nice.
And I've seen both of them on a tow truck before. multiple times. Like, I've seen, like, both of them at separate times on a tow truck, and I'm like, what? Because my
Yeah,
assumption, maybe they've
there's
broken down.
yeah, the issue is a lot of the early ones have had half shaft issues where they'll start clicking,
Hmm.
and generally you don't want to drive it when it's doing that. So yeah, there were some early on issues, but Rivian has addressed them, and well, I think they did a recall at some point for that, and then they've basically gotten it fixed from the factory as well.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, one of the best things about Rivian is they listen so much to their community. Like, they'll actually, when they hand out software updates, they'll put in names of the people who suggested the new features.
It seems like a nice car, but back to the Lucid. Is there anything special about the interior that I should check out?
Um, the most notable things about the Lucid's interior, I don't really know if there's that much other than it's trying to do the Model X windshield where it's literally the windshield going right past your head. There's no border right above. But the problem was they put the sun visors in their typical spot instead of Tesla, where the visor's home position is to the side instead of right where you typically see them.
Ah, I see.
It's a bit of a weird placement.
I'll have to check that out, because it's one of the EVs. It's like one of those new manufacturers who hasn't made gas cars. Because like Rivian, Tesla, and Lucid, I believe, are the main ones right now who have never made a gas car and are pretty prominent right now. And I think Rivian and Lucid have a lot of potential if they do it properly. And I've heard that like Lucid is a bunch of dudes from Tesla who like wanted to improve on the Tesla or something.
So with Rivian's story, the funny thing was during their initial development of the vehicle, electric wasn't actually a consideration. They just wanted to build an adventure vehicle.
Oh.
But along the lines, they decided, I'm not too sure what led them to decide this, but they decided the best adventure vehicle is electric.
That's cool.
Yeah. And when they decided, all right, the best adventure vehicle is going to be electric, they got a lot of ex-Tesla employees coming in, and that's how they got their software teams to be so amazing. That's how they got great designs in engineering. And Lucid, the ex-Tesla employees that went there are the people who are all enthusiastic about luxury and quality control. And I guess you could technically say efficiency, because for a vehicle that big, getting 4 miles per kilowatt hour, that is extremely impressive. That's like, you're not going to find that many vehicles of that size getting 4 miles per kilowatt hour on the interstate.
I'm pretty sure the Audi gets like 2. I'm gonna check. So average consumption of energy. Let me see. I'm not sure what this means.
I would think it'd be closer to 2 miles per kilowatt hour, because Audi is not exactly the most energy efficient. Volkswagen Group in general, the ID4 is a bit of an exception, but in terms of Audi's e-tron lineup, it's not actually all that efficient. They're very thirsty vehicles.
Yeah. So I'm going to do one where I've used no gas, because it has like a little list. So 336 miles per gallon. That's pretty much what it says when there's been no gas used. 50.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. I'm not sure what the electricity numbers there really mean. I'm not. You're probably better
if you
at
can
that than I am.
give me those numbers again. So 100 miles.
It's 50.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles.
Divided by 100.
Send you a screenshot.
So that is, I believe, 502 watt hours per mile. Yeah, 502 watt hours per mile. And Let me convert that to miles per kilowatt hour. If I can.
I'm getting a call right now. I'll be right back in like
Okay.
2.
All right.
I'm back.
All right. Yeah, that's basically two miles per kilowatt hour.
That's supposed to be decent for that type of vehicle, right? SUV.
Yeah, well, Tesla will probably get closer to 3.5 with a similar size vehicle, but
Yeah, I
for
guess,
Audi levels, that's fairly okay.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense because the Audi isn't supposed. It's a hybrid, I guess, and I'd assume.
Yeah, it's got extra weight to carry along aside from just the battery and all that, but
Yeah, and it also kind of makes sense how they're not making this to be like the ultimate electric efficiency vehicle because on like auto mode where it uses gas and electric, it's getting like 50 miles per gallon on like town driving, which is good.
that's double what I get in the city
30?
with
Or
my
you're
mild
getting-
hybrid.
You're getting what, like 25, 30?
Yeah, so my averagely, if I drive nice in town, I'll get about 30 miles per gallon.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, my worst drives were actually this morning. I had to cannonball my way to work because I was so late. 22 miles per gallon.
Yeah, when I put sport mode on the Audi, I get about like 25. When I put it in manual mode, it goes down a lot. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
it does.
17 when I'm on manual mode, and it's like that's why I don't drive manual as much. Manual
Yeah.
mode on the DCT, whatever Audi calls it.
Yeah, if I were to drive Red Fox, my old car, if I were to cannonball that to work like I did, I'd probably get like 10 miles per gallon.
Yeah. Whatever happened
So-
to your old car?
It's still sitting in the yard.
You ever gonna fix that up?
I genuinely don't think so.
I don't blame you.
Because, to my knowledge, my parents have a similar car that I do, except they're having transmission problems. So what I think is going to end up happening is they're going to buy Red Fox and take the transmission out and use that
Red
to
Fox
replace
is,
the one
auto,
in their
right?
car. Yeah, they're all automatics.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time Buick offered a manual in any of their vehicles.
Audi stopped in like 2017, I believe. It's like everybody stops. But what else did Teddy send? macOS Sonoma on 8. I think it was like 922 or not 922. When was it? 927. I think.
Somewhere down
926.
here. Oh, yep,
Yeah,
that seems kind of early.
it's like midweek.
Don't
isn't
they
it?
usually
It's
wait
like-
for October?
They did the last year with Ventura. That's like a Wednesday or a Thursday, isn't it? 26? Let me look. I think maybe Tuesday?
26th is a Tuesday.
What are they releasing it on a Tuesday for?
I don't know.
It's always the events on Monday or Tuesday. The stuff comes out on like it was Friday for the iPhones and like Monday for a lot of other stuff. That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's a small update. But I'm excited for live wallpapers. I'm excited for some of the like small things. So I'm definitely
You gonna
give
use
it a shot.
widgets?
Maybe. I don't know. I usually have a lot of stuff on my desktop, and
I don't know why would you put widgets on your desktop like that? It's already cluttered enough with the windows. Why do you have to add extra clutter on top?
I don't see why somebody's gonna be sitting on their desktop to use the widgets. Like, you use your computer. Like, if you're on the Messages app, you're probably gonna have that occupying half your screen, and the other half is on Safari, or you're gonna have Messages, operating in a window or full screen even. It's like nobody just really sits on the desktop and is like, wonder what I'm gonna do today. Sits there for an hour. It's like you're on the desktop. You just started your computer. You're looking for files, which I do in Finder, or I don't know, because right now I can't see a lick of my desktop because I have half my screen is Messages, half of my screen is Discord. So
Yep.
it confuses me. I think it'd be interactive.
I'd hope. Otherwise, why would they have them?
Yeah, it's like interactive widgets on iOS 17 are gonna be kind of cool because you get like home controls, which is a big thing for me. Of course, home like Siri or not Siri, HomeKit is already in the control center, but
Oh, that just reminded me. I finally figured out what was going on with my Apple Watch. With Siri on the Apple Watch.
what is it?
Have you heard of Raise to Speak?
Yeah, that thing. Was that it?
Turn that off.
That's so stupid. I'm gonna test and see. If
It
my
is
microphone-
so broken, it doesn't work, and all it does is just randomly trigger Siri when you do not want her to be triggered.
I never worked when I wanted to. I'm gonna try and see if my microphone is still broken on my watch. Turn off the basement lights. Turn off the basement lights. Okay, it's still broken, so I'm gonna have to upgrade.
Yeah,
this
can't
year.
hear you.
Yeah, it kind of annoys me. I'm gonna have to upgrade this year because of that, which is nonsense, but how it works.
Yeah, I mean,
How does the microphone
what did you
break?
even think of the Apple Watches when they came out? Personally, to me, it's like, why bother buying it?
I think the new colors are nice. I think the performance upgrades are nice, but performance hasn't been good, but it has been bad on my watch. It's on watchOS 9. Are you on watchOS 10?
Yeah, I'm on watchOS 10.
I want to talk about that a little bit later, but I'm on 9, whatever. Yeah, 9. And performance is fine. It's useless for home control. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to open up home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 seconds to open the home app and get to my lights and control them. And that's on the fast side. My iPhone. I'm going to pick up my iPhone. 1, 2. There we go. It's just supposed to make the watch more convenient, but it doesn't. And performance upgrades will help that. How much? I'm not sure. How much of this is just efficiency? I don't know. But
Well, isn't that also like a wireless thing too?
could be. Could definitely be.
Because like, what is the watch used for Wi-Fi? Does it use Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E, or something like that?
I'm sure it's like Wi-Fi 5 or 6, because the new iPhone's just got 6E.
Yeah, I suppose.
If the
Network-wise, my watch seems slow, but everything
Yeah.
else, anything that's on device, it's fine.
I'm gonna try and test something on device, like the settings app, I guess. Seems fine enough. Like I'm going into tabs and it's taking like a second to like open up stuff, but once it gets
Took me
going,
1.5
it's pretty
seconds to
quick.
open the settings app.
Was that from RAM or was your app switch?
That was
cleared?
from. I've never opened the settings app ever since I've updated. So it cleared everything when I updated.
Oh,
So
that's interesting. Yeah, but there's 2 reasons why I would upgrade, and why I've been wanting to upgrade. 3, I guess. 1, my microphone. 2, my battery. 3, I want to get the black stainless steel. Third one is kind of goofy to a lot of people, but after looking at the silver one, it looks nice, but it's just, after wearing this for 2 years, I kind of get tired of it a little bit, but I'm honestly angry that they, or not angry, but annoyed that they discontinued the leather band. What I
yeah,
use.
I'm annoyed too.
That's what I use, and it's wearing out a lot. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen apart yet.
Apple's leather products are just not great.
I don't know. It's like, it's so comfortable though. Most comfortable watch band I've ever felt. But
But I've seen their leather cases, and they just fray like it. Just
Apple cases are awful.
yeah, they're so bad. Like, I had to be honest. I've seen iPad Apple cases. I actually think the iPad cases are the ones that age the best.
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to grab something and take a picture of it real quick, if I can find it. Give me 1 second. So, I have in my hand an iPad Pro case from 2018. This was used from 2018 to 2020 on a daily basis. I'm going to show you what this looks like. It is pretty interesting. And it was used in its current condition for a while. I'm going to send pictures of this. And this is a common occurrence too, for whatever reason. This happened twice.
Where is that picture? Come on. There it is. Ooh!
Yeah. Don't know how that happened. This wasn't my case. I've never had this issue happen. It started very, very lightly on one of my old cases for my 12.9 inch. But I've never had this go and happen. And I'm looking at it closer, and everything is falling apart. It is awful.
This is that leather case, right?
That's not leather. That's like silicone material. That's the same material as yours is,
Oh,
I think.
jeez.
It's the keyboard case. Let me put this in back real quick. Yeah, but that was used.
Teddy's in the group chat at the moment.
Oh, we see. What is that?
Yeah.
But it's awful. Like, it is really messed up. But I like the
Yeah, their
quality of
cases
Apple
just
iPad
don't
cases.
age.
You should have seen my 14 Pro case. It was an Apple silicone.
I don't think I wanna.
All of the edges were off. Like, the edges fell apart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I see silicone cases like that all the time.
I'm interested about the fine woven cases. Do you know who Mobile Reviews A is?
Nope.
He's a YouTuber. He does case reviews and stuff, and like tech reviews in general. But he actually got his hands on the fine woven cases, and he split them in half to test them. Apparently, a fingernail can damage the case permanently, which
That's what I
obviously isn't
figured.
good. Yeah, and apparently, the case is like mostly made out of like it's only layered in the fine woven material, and the other part of the case, like the inside, is like this kind of air material, I think. I'm gonna look his channel up because I saw his video on it and I was kind of interested in fine woven cases. Not the biggest fan because they're kind of trying to replace leather cases. And I don't really think they could do that because the leather cases were just leather cases.
Yeah, to me, I'm just worried how these are going to hold up durability-wise.
Oh, they're going to be awful.
Yeah,
he says
just like the rest of their cases.
Yeah, he says that they can like resist drops, but not that much else. He also says if you have like animals with fur, like not hair, but like fur, like a cat or like certain breeds of dogs, it's like a lint roller. It will attract the fur. And I have a, obviously, do your dog, has fur or hair? Because I know that different dogs, I have a dog with hair.
Siberian Huskies, they've got fur and they shed like crazy.
Yeah, so those cases wouldn't work
This would
for us.
definitely be a no-go around them.
Yeah, because I have a cat who sheds a lot. And I'm looking at my phone and I can kind of see cat fur on the phone already. And that's without a case. So with that case, I can just assume it's going to get nasty. And then imagine buying a phone second.
Just picture it with my dogs.
Cases. Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture it with my dogs. Because when we finish brushing them, there's this is where my hands are positioned when holding all of that fur that we just pulled out of them.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be something seeing those cases age. I know there's gonna be so many people tomorrow getting those cases. Imagine how much Twitter will blow up if all these people with like animals start posting their cases.
Uh,
It's gonna be kind of crazy. Now,
Here come
good
the
news
lawsuits again.
yeah, good news though. There is a really cool feature on the 15 Pro. It's a little bit more of like a tech enthusiast, like hardcore enthusiast feature, but you will be able to see your battery cycles, your battery manufacture date, and your battery first use date from the settings app. And there's a limiter to limit your phone to charging to 80% for people who, I guess, don't take their phone off the charger that often.
That is awesome.
It's cool. From a tech perspective, like an enthusiast perspective, that's cool, I'm not gonna lie. But,
Yeah, that. I mean, average Joes won't care. I'm pretty sure they're like, why would I ever want to reduce the amount of usable capacity in my device throughout the day? Just, what?
yeah, like, I mean, if you're sitting at a desk and you put your phone on a wireless charger all the time, you're gonna, a lot of people are gonna really appreciate this feature.
Yeah.
And then the charge cycle feature, I'm kind of like a numbers guy with that stuff. Like, I have coconut battery on my Mac. I have coconut battery.
Yeah, you're the
Plus.
one who always reports on the battery cycles.
Yeah, I have it connected wirelessly even, so I have a whole log of my battery health and all. Being able to do this on device now without a Siri shortcut, it's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited about that. And there's
Yeah.
a couple other features about the 15 Pro. Like, it's gonna be a big upgrade. People are underestimating Apple's upgrade cycle this year. It's gonna be an interesting year though for iPhones, because I'm really excited to see how USB-C is gonna turn out. A lot of people on Instagram were angry
Yeah.
under
Honestly, I was angry during the event, not because it should have come sooner, but because of how Apple was announcing this.
what, like they were acting like it's like their own thing.
No, they were acting like this is so small.
Yeah,
We don't.
I saw that.
Who cares?
I was on the side.
What do you
that
mean?
Apple,
Who cares?
Yeah, I was saying that Apple was gonna remove the port entirely. I was saying that for a while.
I initially thought that too.
And up until that time, when I saw the USB-C port, I didn't believe it. It was like, I didn't believe it. September 12th, 12:59 p.m., I said, there's no way USB-C is coming. And then I saw it and I was like, I'm amazed. And that's when I decided I was going to buy that phone.
Yeah, to me, that is the biggest feature of all to upgrade this year.
Yeah, I purchased a 10-foot USB-C cable for my nightstand to get rid of my old 6-foot lightning cable, and I'm getting prepared. Got my USB flash drive, got all this stuff. I'm ready to put that lightning cable in a drawer and never think of it again. Just have my Apple Watch charger to charge my AirPods and 2 USB-C chargers at my nightstand. That's all I want.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still do the wireless charging method, but because my car still does not have wireless CarPlay, oh, that'd be so nice.
Yeah. If I got USB-C, I'm gonna use USB-C. Maybe a little bit of MagSafe, because I still use MagSafe to this day on my 14, but I'm excited about USB-C.
Yeah, to me, that is the biggest feature of the entire event.
It is. It really is. And the new camera features, we're gonna have to see how they are. I'm thinking new cameras are pretty big. They haven't said that much on it. I remember on the 14 Pro, 13 Pro, even like the 12 Pros, I remember that they would not shut up about the camera on the 12 Pro. This year,
Yeah.
they only spent like 10 minutes on the camera. It was interesting.
Yeah, to me, they spent way too much time on another category altogether and kind of put me in a sour mood for the rest of the event.
Was it that interesting skit they did?
I mean, in all seriousness, I thought the skit was hilarious, but the amount that they were talking about this, I'm like, Shut
It's
up. I
like,
know this is for your investors, but this event is not for your investors. This is for your customers.
I was sitting there, I was like, I said, because I was on vacation while I watched this, and I said, if they're going to talk about Apple TV Plus originals, I'm going down to the pool, and I'm not gonna watch the event. I'm gonna go down to the pool, and go swimming instead of this, or I'm gonna go do something. And they started this. I'm like, oh, they're not gonna talk about Apple TV. Nope. They started talking about something that I really don't care about. I hate to say it that way, but why do I need to know?
I think the
about
thing
this?
is we do care about it, but we can tell that they're being a little misleading or showboaty about it.
Yeah, and I think it was like MKBHD said this, right? I'm not sure if you watched his videos, but I think he said something like, you can do it, or you should be doing it, but you shouldn't be bragging about it, or something like that.
Yeah, I recall that quote. I've seen that video.
I think he said, millionaires always say, or rich people, not millionaires, but rich people always say, celebrities, whatever it was, celebrities always say when they're donating to charities, but if they really cared, they would just donate without saying anything. I think he said something like that, and I think that's proving to be what Apple's doing. It's like, if you really cared that much, would you really be telling everybody about it? Like, sure, they're proud of it, but it's like, why all this time dedicated to it? You could have spent more time talking about AirPods Pro with USB-C, or the cameras, whatever. But what do you think about AirPods Pro?
Or they
with USB-C?
even USB-C in general.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of AirPods Pro with USB-C though? You gonna pick a pair up?
So, not just yet. And the reason for that is because at the moment, my lifestyle has kind of dropped the need for AirPods Pro.
You've been using AirPods Max more, I assume?
Yeah, because now where I work, there's more coworkers that I have to interact with, and in general, it's just people need my attention a lot more, and it's a bit inconvenient to be addressed with earbuds in my ears all the time, and they're like, hey, can you hear me? Because I got noise cancellation on all the time, because, hey, it's a loud environment. I'm going to use noise cancellation if I can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm not going to yet, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this somewhere. I picked up a new pair of AirPods Pro 2s in July, because my old pair was having a lot of issues, and I didn't feel like messing with AppleCare. But I wanted the engraving.
Yeah.
I really wanted an engraving. So I got an engraved pair. And I don't really, if I buy the case alone, I'm going to lose the engraving. If I buy a new pair, it's $250. That's a buck or two. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So it's like,
though, if I were ever to need AirPods Pro again, then at this point, I'm probably going to have to give up on my AirPods Pro 2, which suck, because I liked those things until the 6-month issue that I keep having all the time.
Me too. Like, my old pair, I was about to go to Texas this summer, and the left AirPod died like 2 or 3 days before my trip. So I was sitting there.
Yeah.
I had to be on a plane. The next day, I had to go out and buy Beats Studio Buds Plus, or whatever. Because I'm not going on a trip on a plane without noise-canceling headphones. You know, it's like...
Yeah, I've done it before.
That. Yeah, so I went out, bought the Beats, and then those things they're just a bit lackluster, you know, so I went and I went back to AirPods Pro. It's like, I have a theory. The replacement products that Apple replaces AirPods with are refurbished. That's what I think. And they're just not that well refurbished.
That's got to be the case, because I kept having my same issue again and again.
Yeah, a few years ago, my dad and I both bought new iPad Pros, and we got AirPods for free. We upgraded to AirPods Pro for like $50 extra. We basically got $100 worth, like 2 pairs of AirPods Pro. And I had my launch day AirPods Pro, which I recently had to get both the AirPods and the case replaced, like the left AirPod and the case replaced. Those had issues, so I went to AirPods pair number 2 and gave pair number 3 to my sister. And pair number 2, those had problems. About 6 months in, got them replaced, went back to pair 1 for a while. It's like they had problems and they didn't. They had problems and they didn't. So annoying. And at the end of like the AirPods Pro life cycle before the Pro 2s came out, I just went to like Best Buy and I bought a pair of AirPods 2s for like $100 and I started using those.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just I can't justify it now because I don't use them enough, and there are still some occasions where I'll put them back in my ears, like if I have to pressure wash the kennel, and obviously these things aren't waterproof, so
yeah, and it's a
can't
lot,
use these.
It's a lot like more of a hit if you break your like $550 for AirPods Max versus like $250 for the Pros.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you.
Yeah, if I ever need AirPods Pro again, then I'm definitely getting the pair with the USB-C because I think at this point I'm outside the warranty period anyways. So
did you get yours?
They're going to basically charge me the exact same price as a brand new pair.
You got yours on launch day?
Yeah, I did actually. Yep.
I got mine the day after launch day. So I guess launch date was 23rd. You'd be like 2 days before your warranty ends. But yeah, I think
it's just not worth it.
I think they should have always had USB-C. If they're putting USB-C on the Apple TV remote, why not put it on the AirPods? They're accessories. That's really weird how they put it on the TV remote, but nothing else last year.
Yeah. That was odd. Well, here's another odd thing about these new AirPods Pro. They didn't just change the case.
Yeah, they have like high quality audio support now, right?
If you use Vision Pro.
How does the case, is it like a case specific thing or is it like the AirPods?
No, they actually changed the earbuds themselves.
Okay.
But they're still calling it AirPods Pro 2.
I think I have a theory on why they did that. It might have been so that the cases aren't interchangeable. So they have an excuse to not let you interchange the case. That's what I can think of.
Maybe.
But Apple doesn't really care. You can put AirPods Pro in like a fake case and it'll charge and work. They don't really care what you're doing with the case. They offered the wireless charging case for the AirPods first gen. And I mean the actual first gen. Because something people don't know. Apple did not sell the first gen AirPods until they don't still sell them. The AirPods 2 had two models. The wired charging case, the lightning case, and the wireless charging case. They're both AirPods Pro 2. The wireless charging case is just an optional add-on. People don't get that because I pulled out my AirPods Pro 2s, my AirPods 2s last year. And I think Ilays said, "Oh, you have AirPods 1." I'm like, "No, they're AirPods 2." Well,
just without the charging case or the wireless charging case.
Yeah, and then
I knew that was a thing all along, but I guess a lot of people
don't
think that.
Yeah, and it's so annoying to have to explain because it's like, why would Apple still sell the things from 2016? Like,
well, then there's also AirPods Pro first gen with the MagSafe case.
Yeah.
And without.
That was weird too. That was real weird. I had to. So one of my friends stole my AirPods one time. Big Sam dude, back in February 2022. I got them back. But I had to go out and buy another pair of AirPods Pro in that time frame because I had no idea where my old ones went. And while I was able to return that and get all that dealt with, it did have the MagSafe case, and it was interesting. Really, I don't understand why they did that.
Yeah.
It was
They
just
they did a doozy with AirPods and so many other things at this event.
they've they've made this event into two categories: Apple Watch and iPhone. And I'd say this: you could put Apple Watch, iPhone, AirPods, Vision Pro, your environment stuff, and apparently they talked about Mac. Because they said something about Mac. I was like, what new Mac are they going to announce? They just pulled up an MKBHD quote about the new MacBook Air. I'm like,
Yeah. Wasn't that
why?
cool though?
It was cool how they're actually referencing MKBHD, because it's like for the longest time, Apple has not been treating YouTubers the best. They've just kind of ignored the fact that YouTube exists.
Yeah.
But that
And now,
was cool.
actually, I think that's the more popular marketing option compared to mainstream articles or website publications. No, now everyone just goes to YouTube. I think that's everyone's default now.
YouTube's apparently a search engine. I think Google is more, but people apparently use YouTube as like the world's second most popular search engine. But yeah.
Makes sense. You
And
can
then-
find just about anything on YouTube.
And then everybody says like, or no, everybody uses Google already. I don't know people who use like Bing. People use Google. Most people. Who owns YouTube? Google. So everything that YouTube has is going to be on Google. And YouTube's going to be recommended more on Google because the Google company.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm glad about that because, yeah, eventually, you know, it seems like with the way Teddy's channel is going, he's going to be the next big YouTuber. He's at like 1,000 subscribers now, which he's 15, I believe. That's kind of crazy.
I just crossed 250 the other day on one of my channels.
I just crossed 750 a few days ago, and
Oh gosh.
it's been a long, long road because I started in 2017. So it's like, yeah, but I'm really hoping that I can hit like 1,000 next year or something like that. But your channel's definitely, I don't
Yeah,
know why your
I'm
channel
still
hasn't taken
trying.
off. Your content is great. Dude.
Well, I hope it is because I lose sleep over it. But
Yeah, like your content is up there with like the best creators. I don't
Really?
know why. Yeah, I think that your content, I've never seen a small channel with that like well produced content. It's like your editing and all is top notch. I don't know why your channel's still at like 250.
yeah. Well, one, thank you very much. That
Of course.
actually has meant a lot to me because I've been doing a little debate about YouTube at the moment. Maybe more on that in just a bit, but yeah, thank you very much for that. But why am I not as popular? I think it's because at the moment YouTube's recommendation algorithm is currently broken.
I would agree. Would definitely
Like,
agree.
do you get videos that pop up that you wouldn't watch
I get videos
because
about
they're not even
weird
anywhere
stuff.
relevant towards what you watch?
Yeah, I get videos
Yeah.
on weird stuff. Interesting. Like I'm gonna
I
look up
think
my
that's
YouTube stuff.
why I'm not doing so hot. It's because
Yeah, like, I'm
YouTube's
getting-
recommending my videos to people who wouldn't watch that stuff.
Yeah, so 4 videos down on my front page, I get a video. Ice cream truck in the hood. Why I would watch that, I don't know.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I don't. It's got to be YouTube's algorithm. It's broken. That's my only explanation as of why I'm not up where everyone thinks I should be. Because
Yeah.
I still see the comments on my videos where, dang, this is high quality content. And yet they're surprised to see the sub count so low.
And YouTube doesn't do anything about it, which is my biggest issue with them.
Yeah.
Like,
It drives
then-
me nuts.
and then they say, oh, use shorts to make your channel more popular to gain subscribers. I'm like, I don't want to make short form
Oh,
content.
that was the worst idea ever.
It's like I don't want a bunch of short form content subscribers. I want people to watch my longer videos because that's what I like making. I don't want to have to be
Yes.
a minute. Like I'd rather talk about. Let me see what my most recent video is. I'm pretty sure it's USB-C video. That video is 5 minutes 19 seconds long. If I was to put that in short form content, I wouldn't be able to with how much info I had. I'd rather make a video with a lot of info than a video that's like misleading almost, you know? But I don't know.
Essentially.
I think you're right. YouTube's recommendation system is really messed up. But
Yeah, because
I'm
like,
hoping they'll
here's
fix
my
it.
latest video on the Drive channel, for example. Tesla just revealed Project Highland. That was big news. I was on time this time.
Yeah.
I was on time for the news this time.
Oh wow.
114 views.
That's like what I would consider pretty good. Because there was a time where I was getting like an average of like 3, 4, 5,000 views per video. And I was like, that is crazy. That is what got my
I've only
channel,
had that
like,
experience. I've only had that experience like maybe twice. The most recent being actually on the vlog channel. I don't know why this video blew up, but it was my video talking about Bluey on the vlog channel. 3.3 thousand views, 99 likes.
Yeah, that's apparently... I never watched that as a kid, or whatever, but I have a friend who's really into that.
That's because it came out in like 2020-ish or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
there's
it's
been
a
lot of
fairly
talk
recent
about
show.
that. But, I'm looking, there was this time, about a month ago, where my videos got 0 traction. Every single video I was uploading, 10 out of 10. Like, and I don't mean that as, like, quality, I mean 10 out of 10 on the views. So my AirPods Max video, 10 out of 10. It got 78 views, and I put so much time into that. And then my Magic Mouse 2 video, that's 5 out of 10, that's decent. And then my folding phone video, 10 out of 10. iPhone 14 Pro video, 7 out of 10. iOS 17, 10 out of 10. And since April, I've only uploaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos. I used to upload 4 videos a month on a weekly schedule. I stopped uploading because of that, but now I'm uploading again. I haven't even started on tomorrow's video. And that's probably for obvious reasons, because of the 15 Pro. But I will be doing an unboxing video on that, which I'm hoping will get some traction, because it's going to be a launch day 15 Pro unboxing. But, we'll have to see. But, it's like almost 9. You ready to start wrapping up?
Yeah, I guess so, because actually I have a video I need to... Gosh, I need to film it. I'm going to lose more sleep. I'm so tired. And I had like the worst day at work today.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was late to work. I had to search 3 different hardware stores for one drill, and I didn't crash the machine once. No, that's child's play. I crashed it twice.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. I did not have a good day today, so...
Yeah. Hopefully the video will do well, though.
I hope, though. It's another news video relating to the transition to NACS and those. They were doing fine at first, except now I think that's kind of died down. Maybe I'd have to... I don't know. I got 3 different options. It's either that, EA's bad numbers, their bad data. I got a video explaining that in the works. And then
like
battery fires.
EA, like the...
Electrify America.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like EA is in like a gaming company. I think you should do battery fires. That would be cool. But
I probably should do that. That would probably get me the most views at the moment because
That would
battery
get-
fires are a hot topic at the moment.
that's why I'm not allowed to park the Q5 in the garage, even though nothing like that has happened. But yeah, I think
You want to know something? Don't actually worry. Don't actually worry about that because the statistics have proven if it's a combustion vehicle, that is the vehicle that is more likely to explode.
I think, honestly, I trust the technology in the car a lot. I trust that there's temperature regulators or whatever and all that would stop it from happening.
And because this is an Audi, they've actually done a great job engineering aside from the efficiency aspects. But
Yeah,
Audi, I'm pretty sure would do a great job in terms of the quality aspects of that electric powertrain.
I hope. But yeah, I think that fires would get you a lot of long-term views too. So it's like it keeps going up and up. You know, I think that would
Yeah.
be good. But I'm excited to see that. But I think we should wrap up now. So
Yep.
this was the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. I guess this episode was the Tabby Pairs and Alpha DeWolf podcast because the iTunes Fanboy wasn't here. But still, iTunes Fanboy Podcast. Subscribe to all three of us, Tabby Pairs, Alpha DeWolf, and the iTunes Fanboy, who will probably be here next
Well,
week.
the Random Alpha. I should point
right.
that out. That's my YouTube channel network. Yep.
Right. But
Don't subscribe to the Alpha DeWolf channel. There's no content that ever goes to that.
yeah. But
And I have like 4 subscribers on that. Why?
yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm Tabby Cat,
My name is Alpha DeWolf from the Random Alpha.
and goodbye.